Apa kabar? Salam sejahtera. And for today, I'm going to go through some of the advanced usage of the FCR, where we will be using the radar to designate some armor out there in the open sands of Altis, using a Hellfires Lima variant, which is basically a radar guided and true fire and forget missiles or Hellfire for armor. I'll go through some of the functions of how to use the PFZs and set it up, which PFZ would mean is priority fire zones, and with that how to slave the PFZ into to separate targets up, and to slave them to the Hellfire Limas to take out multiple targets at one area at one go. So bear with me. I'm gonna go in, start up the bird, go up to the area and show you how to use that. Before that, I also might as well just give a bit of a introduction of how to set up waypoints using the AH64D here by Nodunit and Franze. It's the 1.43 plus variant, which was pretty much taken up to remodify and improved by Sacha and his community. Okay, let's get started. And we're in the cockpit. The first thing is to close the doors. If I look at the doors, I'll just close the gunner door from this, and I'll be using a single player, so I'll be just flying as a pilot right now and using the radar controls and also the fire controls manual fire mode. It's the same, it's just to show you how to use the radar, but ultimately even when you're on a gunner seat, it will work in a multi-crew setup. So place here, use the controls to close my pilot door, do the arming right now, because I'm going to add in a few other things like the stingers onto my bird. This is how you do a arming for the bird. You first take the M299 Hellfire racks and put it into the middle, choose the AGM 114 Lima, click it on the dashes here, you put 4 each rack, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Click it on station 2 and click it on station 3. I'll take some of the rockets to show you how to also slave the rockets, FFARs, using the FCR. Put the M261 rocket pods here. Choose the, I like the M261 FFAR with a warhead that actually comes with 9 parachute retarded munitions, effective against both personnel and light armor vehicles, so it's a bit multi-purpose here, so that's why I use this one. Click it to only 3 of this, because if you click it on the 4th one, it won't fit, because it only fits so much rockets into that, and this is where you choose it onto station 1 and 4. And finally, I'll take the FIM-92 Stinger missiles over here for some air-to-air defense, as well as also to attack. This one you just put up in the slot that says ATA on top of where the dome is, and click load, and just wait for the bird to load up. And then now it's loaded. There's a message to come on the right side over here, but I have a 3 monitor, so you won't be able to see my probably see half of my message over here. Close it up, and let's start the bird. So what I do to start the bird is that I won't go into the details on how you're going to set up user controls. It's listed on the Steam Workshop under my gadget download for this mod. It's listed into the description side to give you more details. So move up to the battery, turn up the battery, Turn up the APU, maybe a bit loud. I'll turn the volume down a bit. Rotor 1, rotor 2, throttle, and rotor brake. Okay. Once you're done with that, let me just turn down the volume. Okay, the volume down. Move up here, turn out the fire detection and also the fire distinguishers. Engine 1, APU, and engine 2. Here's a little trick. If you have ACE on, you can just turn on the rotom engine by pressing the number 2 on your keyboard. Number 2 will turn on the rotors. Shortcut for hi-hats is on the right side panel. If you just move your cursor around here and press the user control, you can actually turn on your hi-hats. So now your hi-hats are up. And with that, I'll move my left MFD to the weapons page, right MFD to where the navigation page, and this is where I'll go through to show you how we can set up a waypoint and save waypoints for this mod. Disregard the top error messages, as it will just go away in just a second. Just to proceed, from the waypoints navigation, as you can see over here, it shows NAV in this page here. Is to add waypoints, what you do is that you look at the left side of buttons, top one that says ADD, and that's to add a waypoint. Click that, and your waypoint configuration is active. To add waypoints, you will go into the map, and with the map, what you could do is you could click anywhere in the map right now and you can set waypoints. What I'll do is I'll just set one over here in Limi, and then here you can see the number that shows up as waypoint 1, and finally go up to, well, just like about, let's say 100 meters south of HA Alpha to be on my second waypoint, if you can see right over here. So once you click this, you will have your waypoint set up. Get off your map and then go into here and start and click transmit, XMIT here, and you will save your waypoint. Here it says waypoint saved, and with that you can see your waypoints over here. If I were to zoom out on here to show you, you can see here this the zoom or the map zoom right now. If I want to move it to one click, move it to 5 clicks, 50 clicks, you will see the bunch of the waypoints here. If I go closer, 25 clicks, and this is 10 clicks, and you can see my waypoint 1 and waypoint 2, which is from somewhere there, and it's stated over here. Once you've done that, to make it easier to see all this waypoint, I'll click the area here that says map, and it gives you a better view of where the waypoints are. So you are currently over here at waypoint 0. We're going to move to waypoint 1 and waypoint 2. Alright, so with that, we're ready to take off and make a move. Once we get to waypoint 1, I will hover there and set up my radar and show you how we do that using the FCR to designate targets. How you would look at your waypoint is that on your hi-hats you would see a little caret on the left side and slightly above where my compass tape is, right over here. And if you will see this compass tape, it's currently about waypoint 1 is its direction of it is somewhere around 100 and 108 degrees, and the distance, which you can see, it's over here stated on the bottom left side of your iHeads, is 6.7 clicks away, and that's waypoint 1. With your key binding custom using users 17 and 18, you can cycle your waypoint up or down by pressing that, and you see waypoint 2, and you go back to waypoint 0. You can go back to 1, 2, 0, and you can cycle backwards or forward too. So now what you need to do is, I'm going to go to waypoint 1, and it's 6.7 clicks at bearing 108 at this time. And I'll be making my way. As you can see, once I make my way, the waypoint 1 distance will start to reduce, as it shows waypoint 6. Distance is 6.4 clicks right now. I'll just move the aircraft towards waypoint 1 until you can see the caret on the top side starts to line up to the center of it on that line. And right now you are moving towards waypoint 1 and 5.5 clicks away, and you can see they are moving towards it right here. I'm coming up to waypoint 1, going at a low altitude. It's 1.3, 1.2 clicks directly in front of me right now. 800 meters, start to flare and slow down. Coming to 500 meters, 400 meters, and this is where waypoint 1 is at. You can see it. Yes, I reached waypoint 1. I'm going to hover over here. Once I reach waypoint 1, you can see that the waypoints has automatically changed to waypoint 2, which tells me it's 2.2 clicks at that somewhere around there, which is at bearing 080. So let me auto hover here while I show you how to use the FCR. Trim the bird a bit. Okay, that should do it and steady the flight right now. Nicely done. Okay, first of all, what you need to do is to make sure and don't forget to turn on your ground radar. You turn it on by pressing the slash key or the backslash key that's above the enter key. It's the same key as salute, and once you press that, the radar will be turned on and it's inactive right now. So once the radar is active, you will be able to see that it has captured several targets over here right away, and this is where I can see the targets up front, which are pretty much tank. To see it better is that I'll switch it to the map. The map page, which is currently on NAV. So when it's on NAV, you'll see a waypoint. If you click that, it would switch to ATK, which is attack mode, and that's when you start to see all your targets here. Now these targets will see everything on it, which includes aircrafts and also wheeled as well as track targets too. To filter that out, what you could do is to actually click on filter all, until you see track. And once you see TRK here, it's only filtered to track targets. Alright, now once you have track targets there, let's zoom it in a bit to 5 clicks. You see that all of the targets in front of me is here. And now I think I'll just go back to 10 clicks so that I can put the targets in the middle. Now, once you have that target, for the FCR to work, there's two things that you have to be clear. One is that your weapons, which will be using the Hellfires, under the acquisition mode over here, you have to make sure that it's on FCR over here, so that the weapons are connected to your radar or your fire control radar. That is what FCR stands for. When you switch it to other things, let's say you switch it to HMDs, your weapons now will actually slave to your helmet. So if you move your helmet around, you see that cross that goes a bit on wherever you look. That's where your weapons are slave to right now. So if you put it on HMD, it would not actually take all these targets into your weapons. It will not recognize that. It only your weapons would be firing where your helmet looks at. So you could put it at fix, and when you put it at fix, everything just looks forward, and you see that that cross doesn't move anymore. It means your guns, your rockets, everything's pretty much slave to directly in front of you. So don't remember, put it to FCR. As a pilot, I need to move and choose manual fire as a pilot, but if you're in a gunner seat, that's not necessary. So once you're on FCR, the other thing you have to make sure is that your sensors, the radar itself, not the weapons, but the radar itself, which have to show FCR/G at the bottom left side of the rectangle of your IHATs, right over here. Once it's on G, then your radar is actually locked on ground targets. You can switch it to air targets, which shows FCR-A, or your the sensors could also be TADS and HMD. When it shows same thing, when it shows TADS and HMD, it's actually slave to your target acquisition device in front, which looks like a turret for the gunner, or to your HMD, which is your helmet. You don't want that if you're using FCR, so move it back to FCR-G. And when you're ready with FCR-G, you're pretty much set up for a FCR target acquisition. To do that, now we'll go ahead and start setting up priority fire zones here. To have priority fire zones, what you need to do is, the first thing is to move it to PFZ1. So now when you have PFZ1, you can start setting up priority fire zones 1. You can't set it at 0, so you have to make sure that you remember to put it at 1. And once you have it at 1, you click the add button again up here, and when you click the add button, your PFZ1 is now active and ready for you to set. And to do that, what you need to need to do for the PFZ1 to be set is go back to your map again, and by now you'll be able to see that the radar has pretty much caught two areas of enemy tanks here. So what you move, let's say, to the left side with the PFZ add mode right now, to make sure that you capture all 4 targets here into PFZ1. Move your cursor to one top end of the area that you want to select, which usually will come up into a square box. Click the top end here to set 1 point, which I've clicked the mouse the left left mouse button right now, and move it down here to the other area to make sure that you can get it into a square box, and click the left mouse button again, and now you'll be able to see a square box that comes across that covers all 4 tanks here. So you have PFZ1 created already. If you move out of it, you would see that this area here shows a white designation of track targets. That's your PFZ1. Now let's create PFZ2 so they can 2 separate PFZs to focus on. To do that, click on PFZ to switch it to number 2, and now you have number 2. Click add again, and when you click add, it will show PFZ2 active on your messaging. For me, it's on the bottom right side. When PFZ2 is active, you do the same thing and open up your map, go back to the second group of targets over here on the southeast of where your first PFZ is, and do the same thing and click the top side one here with your left mouse button, and at the bottom here on the bottom of the targets here, and click your left mouse button again. Now once you click that, you will have PFZ2 created. So now with that, you have successfully created 2 PFZ. The AH64D Apache, you can create up to 8 priority fire zones. You can create 8 PFZ around. Just for illustration, I have some targets up here which are helicopters, Mi-8 MTVs, which I will also create a third PFZ to illustrate it. Go back to your map, go back in here, choose PFZ3. Now it shows 3. Add again. It's add, and go to your map, go up to your 4 targets of Mi-8s over here. Click on the top left side of it and the bottom left side of it, and you will have a PFZ that covers all 4 aircrafts over there. So you can put PFZ on any targets if you wish. It could be on wheel targets, track targets, air targets, and so on and so forth. You could also, if there are some infantry over here, you could also add a PFZ on the infantries there. So now we have successfully created PFZ1, PFZ2, and PFZ3. Go back up to your map. The other interesting thing about it is that here you see that your 3 PFZ is that if you have a 2-ship Apache, let's say if I have a wingman on over there, after creating 3 PFZ, I could click transmit button here to share my PFZ to my wingman's FCR, thereby making it very easy to tell your wingman what are the PFZ that you have created, and you can share with him. You do that by clicking on the transmit button here, and the new cache data has been detected, targets have been uploaded, and click received here. With that, it shows that 4 targets downloaded from gadget, if you have all the PFZ set up. And to cycle different PFZ, you now move to here where it says filter, and you click it to PFZ1, and you see 1. When you see 1, it just shows targets on PFZ1 only. If you want, you cycle the filter to PFZ2, you show the second area of targets that you have created. If you cycle to PFZ3, filter 3, it will show the aircraft, which is the helicopters that I have targeted as PFZ3. somewhere slightly north of it. And you will see that if I move to 3, there you go. With 3, you will see the icons of helicopters over here. So why it's showing white color is because here you are actually selecting PFZ 3 and you're filtered to 3. Now if I were to move it to all, as you can see, you can cycle to 8 PFZ, and the next one goes back to all. With all, you can see everything on it, all the targets and all that. So you can see it's selected at the white icons is the one that is selected as PFZ 3. So if you were to click it to PFZ 1, you will see it change to the track targets. That is actually PFZ 1. There you go. Track targets is PFZ 1 now. You move it to PFZ 2. You can see 2. It shows white ones, white track targets is PFZ 2 here, and it would PFZ 3 goes back to the white side here, which is PFZ 3. So for you to now engage I would choose PFZ 1 to engage PFZ 1 right now. Okay, we're ready to attack PFZ 1 right now. So I have my PFZ 1 selected here. I'll leave the filter to all so that we can see everything here. So, but to move to PFZ 1, selected here, and now what I need to do is to switch it to my Hellfires. You cycle your weapons till I see missiles or P missiles, and to use Hellfire Limas, which you would need to go into a trajectory that goes up and down, you should use LOBL on the right side here, which means lock on before launch. So you can actually lock on before launch right now because you have your FCR already locked onto targets. So with that, we have the Hellfires ready to lock on to the targets. What you need to do is you have to press the target designated by right now by default is on R. So if you press R, you would see that there is also a diamond right now that's surrounding the target. That means that your target is locked on right now, and you can see that the box has been the dash box is now solid. If I were to continue to cycle R, you will see it move 4 times to cycle between the targets. So I'll press R again, you see move, move, move again. So if I keep cycling it, you'll be able to see, as you can see, that it's moving between targets right now. So it's actually cycling between 4 targets. And if I were to, let's see if I can see by moving it to, no, it's out of range already. Yeah, so you can see slightly that when I cycle the targets, the diamond will move between the 4 targets. So that just tells you how I'm cycling the targets right now. So you can actually just shoot 4 Hellfires in sequence, one after another, and it will go directly to all the targets that's been assigned. So it's truly a fire and forget missile right now. So let me cycle to all so you can see all the targets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire 1 Hellfire, cycle to the next target, fire the second Hellfire, cycle to the 3rd target and fire the 3rd, and then cycle to the 4th target and fire the 4th Hellfires, all in one sequence. This is what I'm going to do here. I'll stay in waypoint 1. That's good enough because once you get it locked, you can actually destroy targets up to 6 kilometers away. And here I'll fire or first Hellfire in 3, 2, 1, fire. Cycle to the next one, fire. Cycle to the next one, fire. Cycle to the fourth and final one, fire. And with that, 4 missiles out, that would actually show that there is an X here. That means PFZ1 is completed. I will now move to PFZ2 and press R again, and you see it moves now to the PFZ2. We'll swing over here, cycle again, 4 Hellfires, and kill the next 4 targets right now. Fire 1, cycle, fire 2, cycle, fire 3, cycle, fire 4. And with that, I have completed PFZ2 that shows X over here. And that I have fired 8 Hellfires at one sequential. Let's go take a look. Let's see if I can take a look with the PNVS right now and zoom in and see if we can see it being damaged. It's a little too far. So let's just take a flight close by over there and see all the targets. As you can see that all 4 tanks there has been destroyed, and the other 4 tanks should be on the left side, which is also destroyed. There you go, it's over there. And yep, there you go, 4 more tanks destroyed over there. So get out my PNVS, move away from the targets before I get engaged by the thing, and now move and engage PFZ3, which are the 4 MI8s further north of it. Let me hover over here. Okay, it's actually hovering right now. Let's see if I can find the MI8s. It's too far to see. Okay, moving on to PFZ3. PFZ3, and it's targeting the 4 MI8s, which is white right now. Switch it to PATA, which is your stingers. Press R, so you'll see it move there, and it's targeting the first one. If you to press R again and cycle, you see it moving, targeting all 4 different MI8s right now. You can see it here, the triangle is moving. So with the 4 stingers that I have, what I'm going to do is fire same thing, 4 sequential stingers onto 4 different targets by cycling it. Stinger 1, cycle Stinger 2, Stinger 3, cycle to the final Stinger 4, and that's 4 out there, and it shows X here. And let's take a look and go closer. Probably you'll see 4 different burning helicopters right front. There you go, it's on the ground already. If we were to switch it to there we go. Well, it's burned out. The other 3 is up again because it's respawning. Okay. That's how you use your FCR on your advanced AH64D. Hope you like it. One more thing. Let me now show you how to also target FFARs, which will help you actually lock on to ground targets using your radar, and then uh, adjust your FFAR's reticle to actually point directly at where the target is. Okay, let me get it onto a hover. And with a hover, let me set up PFZ4 now. As you can see, PFZ4, I know there's some tanks somewhere around further out north, somewhere around there. Go back to your map. You can see the tanks are already destroyed here. And add on press the add button over here to add PFZ4. Go back up to the map. It should be somewhere around here, so I'm going to click a bigger box here to create the PFZ over there. And once I create PFZ over there, yep, I can see that I've managed to create a good bunch of tanks over there. And with that, same thing, PFZ4 has been created. I'll switch it to rockets FFAR, and you can see the reticle right now is now solid already. And if I were to press R, yep, it shows that the targets are up front there. And with that, you can see that it's not moving anymore because it's set at that height, so that you will be able to aim it somewhere around the bottom of the reticle here and be managed to get some good shots on FFAR. So it should be somewhere right here, if you can see, and I can start firing at a distance already. I'll fire some rockets right now. Yeah, at a distance you can see I'm getting pretty much quite good hits on those targets right now, and I ran out of all my FFARs. So you can see they're blowing up right now. Yep, pretty good hits, right? Nice. I'm getting engaged by those MI8s right now, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Let's get out of here and do some jinx. I could actually take them out with my gun. To do that, I need to change my FCR now to HMD. And with the HMD here, I need to change it, my sensors to that's SMD right now too. Change it to gun, and let's for fun, let's see if I can take them out with my gun now slave to my helmet. And to do that, there you go. It's just pointing wherever I want it to go. Ah, there it is. Let's have some fun. Shoot some of these guys up. There it is. Okay.
Main motor
Oh,
damaged.
looks like they got me first.
Main motor damaged.
But I may be able to get out of this. There they go. I shot some of them.
Main motor damaged.
You can see them there with my gun.
Main motor damaged.
Let's see if I can get another one.
Main motor damaged.
It should be somewhere behind there. There it is. Just put my gun there, start shooting on it.
Damaged. Main motor damaged.
Ah, it's too far up. I got to be higher. Okay, maybe now I can get him. Yep. There you go.
Main motor damaged.
And I had fun. Hope you learned something. Thank you for watching Gadget 70. I'll be heading back to base right now.